What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and every single day I get asked the same thing over and over again. How do I get a good deal on a car? Where can I buy a car for cheap? How do I get a hold of some of these repos that everybody's talking about? So today I'm going to go over exactly how you can do this with and without an actual dealer's license. So whether you're looking at buying a car for yourself just to save a few dollars, or if you're a car flipper, or if you're a dealer or wholesaler, I'm gonna show you how I buy and sell cars, so make sure you stay tuned to the end. So first we're gonna be talking about how I actually buy cars. Now, kind of my claim to fame is I have a system or a network that I build to help me get cars. Now, majority of dealers, wholesalers, brokers, and everybody else tend to buy their cars from auction. 90% of my cars I do not buy at auction. I kind of set it up this way, and I'll explain some of the ones that I can share if you're with the general public. Now, if you're just a regular person, I tell a lot of people the best way to start looking for cars is obviously Facebook, which we all know that, but it's very hard to find a deal because you always got to be the first one there and you got to have money. I kind of made a joke, the only way you can get a good deal on a car on Facebook is if you buy it on Sunday. When the banks are closed, you have the money in your pocket. But just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and flip on my screen. Let's see what's on Facebook. So Facebook is kind of a good place because sometimes you can find deals. I actually get a lot of deals off of Facebook, but it's not traditionally through looking at the marketplace. I actually run ads for cash for cars and other things like this. But I figured I'd pull this up, and right here, right off the get-go, we see a 2017 GMC Yukon for $32,999. I already know that's a little bit overpriced, but it's got a girl in the picture, so maybe the girl comes with it. Let's take a look at the VIN to see if maybe there's one there. I can give you guys some information on it. Nope, unfortunately, it does not have a VIN. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm gonna type in what this car is and actually get you a value right here on the spot. What I do is a lot of times I'll look at this and then I'll run the VINs and I'll see what MMR is, auction or wholesale. This is what lets me know if I could buy this car online and take it straight to maybe Mannheim or Odessa. So this thing tells me right now that the average MMR, which is wholesale value on this car, is $24,300. Now this is putting a GMC Yukon with all the bells and whistles at 74,000 miles. So this for $32,000, $999 is not a great deal. Full retail on this car is $30,000. So you're gonna see this a lot lately of people asking for more money than what the car is worth. More than likely, this guy probably paid maybe $40-something thousand for it during the pandemic, and now he's trying to get out of it. But I mean, I'm not gonna really talk about a whole lot of Facebook deals here because everybody knows there's overpriced. Oh, here you go. Here's a unicorn, a convertible Nissan Murano. This one's only $21,000, has 22,000 miles. Now, I remember during the pandemic, I saw one of these things, I think it was on Bring a Trailer, go for $60,000. It had 15,000 miles. So this shows you how far it's came. I've actually been looking for one of these. If you have one of these, it's beat up or blown up, please message me. I actually want one of these Nissan Muranos because I think they're very cool and I want to build an ugly car for a Hoopty Cross or the Gambler 500. If you don't know what that is, Google it, definitely check it out. So Facebook obviously is not the greatest when it comes to finding deals. What are some great ways that regular people like yourselves can go out and find a car? I tell a lot of people a great way to start is tow yards. Every single tow yard has to have a public auction every time they tow a car and the customer doesn't pick it up. If you pick up a newspaper, which I know a lot of you guys have never done that in a long time or have never done it at all, you go to public notices and by law, they have to notify the public of when these auctions are taking place. My advice is to go ahead and Google all the tow yards in your local area, break out a calendar and write down every single date of every single auction that's going on and start going to them. Now, my advice is don't buy on the first auction, just kind of watch and see how it kind of fans out because some tow yard auctions are really cool. They can let you start the car. Some of them will let you drive it around the yard. But a lot of them, you get no keys. You can't start it. It's kind of a gamble. And so unless you're a little bit better experienced, I would not buy cars that were not running or anything else like that. But that will give you a little bit of the auction experience to let you know what dealers like ourselves deal with when we go to auction. Now, another great place to find cars is actual public auctions. Now, unfortunately, in the state of Nevada, there's not a lot of public auctions here, but just about everywhere else, you can get really great deals. Now, back in the day, I used to go to a Catholic's Charities auction. So when a lot of people passed or they just wanted to donate stuff, they would give it to the church. And sometimes we would get cars with 10, 20,000 miles for next to nothing because there wasn't a lot of people there. A lot of people tended to go there to buy furniture and other goods, and we were the only ones dropping $10, $15, $20,000 on cars. So look in your local area to see if you could find any public auctions. It could be something for charity, for the military. There's also public auction houses all across the United States. States. So that's a fun way of, once again, getting into the industry and seeing if you can get a good deal. Now, another hidden gem are pawn shops. A lot of pawn shops lend money on vehicles. And so sometimes you can get a really great deal on a car. Now, if you walk into a pawn shop, you'll see everything from guns, diamonds, and jewelry. A lot of times just ask them, hey, do you guys have any cars, motorcycles, boats, whatever else? And they will let you know. So I actually buy about 5 to 10 cars every single month from local pawn shops here in Las Vegas. It's just not a lot of people know about it, so a lot of times you get a really good deal. Now, this next one is a 50-50. A lot of states require you to have a dealer's license to buy from title-owned companies. Some do not. But title-owned companies are a great source of finding good, cheap, affordable vehicles, especially at volume. I'd say a majority of my repos that I buy are from actual title-owned companies. Now, it may take some time to get in there, but if you guys have ever watched my videos, I talk about donuts, which I'll go into here in a minute, but this is part of the system and the network that I build. I basically reach out to every single title-owned company in Las Vegas. I show up with a big box of donuts. I hand it to them. I give my card. My name's Lucky. I buy cars. Let me know if you guys have anything for you. So it took me about 1.5 years to get into this massive payday loan store, but now they have anywhere from 300 to 600 repos a month between all their stores between California, Vegas, and Phoenix. And so there's tons of cars that I can get every single month. So if you're looking at a one-off deal, you could find a great deal there. Or if you're looking at maybe buying and selling, wholesaling, or if you're a dealer, they are definitely a great option when it comes to getting cars. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're looking at just buying one car, or if you're trying to get a deal now, how does this help you? Well, the cool thing is this video is actually sponsored by Copart, and I'm working with them to talk about Copart Select. So I know a lot of you guys watching this are probably thinking, well, Lucky, Copart just sells damaged and wrecked cars. You know, that's not something I want. I want something that I can clean up and drive. Now, Copart does offer a lot of different things. We're actually going to do a follow-up video to this one where we're actually going to go into the lot and walk around. But this particular car that I'm looking at right now is one that I was actually going to buy for myself. This was a wrecked Mustang that I was going to do for a SEMA build. Got to keep my lips quiet, but there's some really cool stuff coming up with this particular car. But Copart actually offers so much more. So the program that I'm talking about today is Copart Select. Now, this is actually really cool because it's open to dealers and regular people like yourselves. And on top of that, you're buying bank repos, fleet cars, and other wholesale trade-ins. So you're actually buying the repos that we talk about all the time on the channel. A lot of these cars are clean title with low miles and minimal damage, but you can still get at a really great price. Now, all you have to do, if you look over here, you can see in the far left, or in your side, the far right up here up top, it says Copart Select. All you have to do is click that button and it will show you all the Copart Select cars in your area and across the United States. So let's go ahead and check out Copart Select real quick. As you can see, there's a bunch of cars here, a lot of cool stuff. But what I want to really talk about right now is the differences right here. You can see on the left-hand side, it says green light, yellow light, and red light. Now, these are different types of cars. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start off with a car that's considered green light. Now, this car that we're currently looking at is green light, which means it's more than likely in great shape, has no issues, but you should still exercise caution. And if you look right here, the auto grade is 3.2, which means the higher the grade, the better condition the car is. But let's just go ahead and look at some quick stats. It's a 2023. It's only got, let me see the miles here, 16,000 miles. Everything looks good. On the announcements, it says no issues detected. But what we want to do is we want to look at the condition report. This is very important. On every single car, before you buy it, you need to look at the condition report. The reason why these things are here is so when you're buying online, you can actually bid with confidence and know. So like I said, this one is a grade of 3.2. And as you can see the slideshow, it's showing you different things on the car that you need to look about. Now, if you kind of scroll through, you can see the auto check. The seller is a bank. It has keys, no damage. Now, if you look right here, it says Copart Core Info, interior damage. Now, you click on the read more section, it'll go down right here and it'll say left seat worn. That's it. Nothing crazy, nothing bad, but this is a pretty new car. If you go to the bottom here, you can see the tire condition. Obviously, one of the tires needs to be replaced because the tread is really bad. Now, the next car I'm going to be looking at is a 2018 Dodge Challenger STX. Once again, if you look up here up top, Copart Select, it's green light. Just your basic information, but once again, we always want to look at the condition report. So let's go ahead and go down to condition report. We click that right there. The new tab will pop up, and once again, we're going to look through this one. We can see the auto check's good, everything is good, but if we look right here on this particular car, it says it has exterior damage. We're going to click read more. We're going to go down to the bottom here and it's going to say front bumper cover, scratches, and curb rash on the front wheel. So let's go ahead and click on the bumper and you can see right here at the bottom there's some scratches. So you can see they're pretty transparent about some of the cars, but you always want to do your due diligence. Now after this, we're going to go ahead and check out another car that's actually yellow light. Now this is very important. The difference between green light and yellow light could be a lot of major things. So it's very important that you read the fine print of all the condition reports. So if you look right here, once again up top, 2014 Chevy Silverado, it's got the Copart Select, but then it has the yellow light, which is caution. So this is warning us of something that's on there. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's got 101,000 miles, which is not bad for a truck. It's a 6-cylinder, looks in okay condition. Kind of scroll through here, we can see some of the pics. Looks okay, typical basic work truck. This is something that I would, buy and sell all the time in my lot. So let's go ahead and go back here, and if we scroll down, you can see right here it says the following has 2 major issues detected. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the condition report. So now we're here at the condition report, and if you see right here this number, it's 1.7, and it actually says rough on there. This is telling you that the overall condition of the car is not that great. So definitely check out the pictures and see what's up with the car. Now we can scroll through here, and once again, we have checks on exterior damage, we have checks on interior damage, and right here, this is a new one. OBD2 scanning. They actually came up with some codes. Now this is very important. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So if you look here at the trouble codes, you can see the first one is for System 2 Lean Bank 1, and the second one is for System 2 Lean Bank 2. So more than likely this probably has either an O2 problem, maybe possibly a catalytic converter, which is very highly doubtful only with 101,000 miles. But more than likely, I think it's the actual vacuum. That has some sort of vacuum link that's making this run this particular way. But that's not that big. And you look down here, you can kind of see that here's the overall condition. It's talking about scratches across the body. So anytime you see pictures or descriptions below the actual car, these are the issues that are along with this. You can see it's talking about the tire pressure warning, the front seat's torn, center console's torn, all those things pretty much saying that this car is flat out a 1.7 and it's rough. So the next car to be looking at is a 2020 Lamborghini Urus, but this one is red light. Now red light usually means stop, take a moment and read. That's what I tell everybody in our classes and everything else, because if you see red light, usually you're buying it as is, where is, how is. So you need to go through. So on these next 2 cars, we're going to go through description very good just to see what kind of problems and what kind of issues and why they decided to post it red light. Now this car looks pretty good, yellow. I actually love the yellow with the black accents. This one is a repo because it's from a bank right here. We can see the seller. All right, here we go, condition report. This is what we want to see. So the rating on this car is a 2.9, which is below average. So it's not the greatest, not the worst, kind of in the middle. Now, if we scroll through, obviously the auto check is good. You always want to make sure when you're buying these more expensive cars, you check the auto check on every single car. But if we look here, it says we have exterior damage and we have check engine lights on. So more than likely, the reason why they decided to put it red light is because there is something wrong mechanically with the car, possibly. So let's go ahead and scroll down. So if we look right here, you can see these are all the trouble codes that I'm looking at. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. So there are a lot of codes on here. Now, me being who I am, I can tell a lot of these are because it has low voltage in the battery. Now, sometimes you can get a really good deal because if these cars run low and the battery doesn't have 12 volts, a lot of things won't work right. The transmission won't shift correctly. You'll have all kinds of lights for misfires and other stuff like that. Body control modules won't fire up. So I can see a few things here already, but without me getting out my scanner and looking up these codes, I'm seeing a lot of them just because of low voltage. But when people see this, it lets them know that there are multiple things. So you could take the time to Google them to see on why this is such an issue. Now, the current bid on this car, I believe, is, let's click back here, is $124,000. So that's not that bad. That's actually pretty good. So someone's going to get this thing for a smoking deal because I think retail on this is like $170. But let's go ahead and go back to the condition report and let's scroll some more through the actual condition of the car. So as you can tell in the exterior here, we have obviously the tires are worn. It's got curb rash across all the wheels. But if we look right here in the back bumper, it says it has heavy scratching. I just see some chips from people pulling out luggage. maybe some cracks and scuffs on the bottom plastic here, but nothing too crazy. Overall, this car looks in pretty good shape. If you are mechanically inclined, I would say this would be a good car for you. And this is one of the things that I like about Copart Select. It gives you the options where if you don't want a car that has issues, just buy a green light car. But if you're a little bit mechanically inclined and you want to save some bucks and you know these cars really well, you can buy something like this and save thousands of dollars because you know what you're buying. So the next vehicle we're going to be looking at is also a red light vehicle. Now this one has some funny tricks in here I want to show you. So this is a 2020 Toyota Camry. So it's not that old. It's a great car for somebody that's looking for something to drive around, go to work, or if you're doing Turo, your rental car fleet, or if you're looking something to buy and sell. People absolutely love Toyotas. Now if we look right here, this car's only got 105,000 miles. So in about 3.5 years, they put some miles onto it. Now the auto grade is 2, which is pretty low. So this thing must be rough. Let's go ahead and take a look here. This one is a repo because it's up for sale by a bank. Let's go ahead and click the condition report to get some more information. Now, once again, you can see the rating is 2.0. So that means it's below average. So this thing must be rough. Now, as we start to look at this, one thing jumps out very, very quickly. The auto check is clean. The seller is a bank, obviously, but look right here. Under keys, it says no keys. So why is somebody going to sell a car with no keys? Now, some banks tend to not buy keys with repos for a few different reasons. If they're waiting for the customer to get the keys, or sometimes the banks don't want to mess with it. They don't want to spend $300-400. They may not owe a lot of money on the car. So they're just going to go ahead and sell the car as is. Now, this is a 50-50 flip. You could buy some keys and this car could fire right up and you could have no problems with it. Or you can get a bunch of keys, fire them up, and then the motors winds up being bad or there's some sort of major issue. But these are some of the fun deals that you can get with Copart Select if you decide to buy in the red light section. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the other stuff, and this thing says it has exterior damage. So let's go ahead and click down here and see what they're talking about. So the first thing you can see, it has some scratches here on the front bumper, no big deal. This one says rear bumper is broken and damaged. So let's go ahead and take a peek at that. You can see right there, they got some white scuff marks on the left bottom piece. Right front center cap. Oh yeah, so the center cap's missing out of this one particular thing. Wheels covered, damaged. Rear quarter panel damaged. So let's go take a look here. Oh yeah, so you can see there's a pretty big dent. So for me to you, this one doesn't look too bad. I mean, the carpet's dirty. Obviously this thing was banged up. Maybe this person used it for Uber, Lyft, or something like that. So let's go ahead and go back and see what this car is actually going for and what the starting bid is. So if we look right here, the starting bid of this car is $3,050, which is not bad, which I think the reason why they put the starting bid so high is because I believe once it hits that $3,000, they're probably just going to sell it and let it go. So this may be a really good deal for somebody. So if you're watching this video, you got like 2 to 3 days to go out there and buy it really quickly online. This thing's based out of Phoenix. But these are some of the cool things that you can do with Copart Select. So if you're looking to get a new car, definitely check out Copart Select. Use my link in the description below to receive a discount on your membership. And I want to thank Copart for sponsoring the video. We have another great video coming up where we're actually going to do a walkthrough on the yard and show all the differences between all the cars, trucks, motorhomes, boats, and RVs that you can buy at Copart, which is going to be very, very cool. So there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to be doing more on this channel about going to auctions, going to actual dealerships, and building more cars and doing fun stuff like this, because as the market starts to turn and people are able to buy cars at a little bit cheaper rate, we're going to start to see these things move. And I want to share all the stuff we do with you guys as we go step by step. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please in the comment section below, let me know what you think of some of the cars we looked at the auction. Also, what do you think about actually showing up with a box of donuts to every single shop in town and trying to buy cars from them directly? If you have any tips or tricks, please put them in the comment section below. Once again, follow, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you next video.